Viktor Frankl, born in Vienna in 1905, was an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist who became known for his development of logotherapy. His early life was marked by a strong interest in psychology, particularly influenced by the works of Freud and Adler. However, his approach to psychology took a unique path, deeply shaped by his experiences during World War II. Prior to the war, Frankl had already begun to establish himself as a psychiatrist, but his career and life were dramatically interrupted by the Nazi regime. He, along with his family, was deported to Nazi concentration camps. These experiences were not just traumatic but also insightful for Frankl. He observed the psychological reactions of both his fellow prisoners and the guards, insights that would later form the core of his psychological theories. Despite the unimaginable suffering, Frankl's spirit remained undeterred. He used his knowledge of psychiatry to help those around him cope with their despair, and began formulating the principles of logotherapy. This period was a crucible that tested and ultimately reaffirmed his belief in the human capacity to find meaning in life, even in the most deplorable conditions. Frankl's time in the camps, though marked by loss and suffering, became the foundation for his lifelong quest to understand and articulate the human search for meaning. Life in concentration camps. Viktor Frankl's description of life in Nazi concentration camps is a central element of man's search for meaning. He provides a stark account of the daily horrors, dehumanizing conditions, and the omnipresent shadow of death. In these camps, individuals were stripped of their identities, possessions, and dignity, reduced to mere numbers. The camps were places of immense suffering, starvation, forced labor, and constant fear. Despite these conditions, Frankl noticed something remarkable. He observed that those prisoners who could find some meaning or purpose in their suffering were more likely to survive. He saw people who gave up hope and succumbed to despair. But he also saw those who clung to a future goal, a loved one, or a belief that life still had meaning despite their current suffering. This observation was pivotal in developing his psychological theories. Frankl encapsulates this observation and quotes, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how," adapting a thought from Nietzsche. Frankl describes how he used his psychiatric training to help fellow prisoners cope with trauma and loss. He tried to provide mental support to those who were on the brink of giving up. This experience reinforced his belief that the human spirit is resilient and can find a semblance of meaning even in the most horrific situations. His time in the camps highlighted an essential truth. Those who can maintain a sense of future, a hope beyond their present circumstances, can endure great suffering. This insight led Frankl to believe that the search for meaning is a fundamental drive in human beings, a drive that can sustain people even in the bleakest of times. Development of logotherapy. During and after his time in the concentration camps, Viktor Frankl developed logotherapy, his signature form of psychotherapy. Logotherapy, derived from the Greek word logos, meaning meaning. It is based on the premise that the primary motivational force in humans is the search for meaning in life. This concept was in stark contrast to the then dominant psychoanalytic theories, which emphasized the pursuit of pleasure or power as primary motivators. Frankl posits three main avenues through which one can find meaning in life. Number one is through work or doing something significant. Number two is through experiencing something or encountering someone. And number three is by the attitude one takes towards unavoidable suffering. Frankl's own experiences in the concentration camps provided a powerful and personal backdrop to these ideas. He observed that those who could find meaning in their suffering were more resilient and had a higher chance of survival. In his practice, Frankl emphasized the importance of future-oriented thinking, even in the face of suffering. He encouraged his patients to find purpose and meaning in life, regardless of their circumstances. Logotherapy also involves identifying a patient's unique values and strengths, helping them harness these to confront and find meaning in their struggles. Frankl's approach was revolutionary in its optimistic focus on human potential and the capacity to find meaning, even in suffering. His theory was a response not only to his experiences in the camps, but also to the existential vacuum he perceived in the post-war world. It was a sense of meaninglessness and aimlessness that he saw as a primary source of neurosis in individuals. Frankl sums up this idea in his quote, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. The concept of meaning. Frankl delves deeply into the concept of meaning as a central human motivation. He argues against the idea that humans are primarily driven by the pursuit of pleasure or power, suggesting instead that the primary human drive is the search for meaning. Frankl's experiences in concentration camps were instrumental in shaping this belief. Frankl observed that individuals who could find meaning in their experiences, no matter how brutal, were more likely to survive. He saw meaning as an anchor, a source of hope in a sea of despair. This observation led to his conclusion that life retains its potential meaning under any conditions, even the most miserable ones. He argued that there are always possibilities to find meaning in life, through creative work, enjoying experiences, or beauty, through the love we give and receive, and even through suffering itself. Frankl's concept of meaning extends beyond mere survival. He suggests that finding meaning is essential for psychological health and well-being. Without a sense of meaning, individuals can experience what he called an existential vacuum, a feeling of emptiness and aimlessness that can lead to despair, aggression, and depression. His insights into the nature of human suffering and the pursuit of meaning offer a powerful perspective on resilience and the human spirit. Frankl's assertion that our response to challenging life situations can give rise to profound meaning continues to resonate with readers and has influenced both psychological theory and practice. He eloquently states this idea in his quote, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." Application of logotherapy. The application of Viktor Frankl's logotherapy extends beyond the theoretical to practical psychotherapy. Logotherapy is used to treat a wide range of psychological issues, helping individuals find meaning in their lives, especially during times of crisis, transition, or suffering. Frankl's approach is unique in that it does not dwell on the past. Instead, it focuses on the future and what the person can start to do now to find meaning. He emphasized that even in the bleakest circumstances, people have the freedom to choose their attitude towards their situation. This concept is especially poignant considering Frankl's own experiences in concentration camps, where he observed this choice in the most extreme conditions. He captures this sentiment in the quote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." Logotherapy involves guiding individuals to discover meaning in life events, encouraging them to take a proactive stance towards their circumstances. It helps people to identify their unique purposes and set goals in alignment with these. Frankl believed that by finding meaning in life, even in seemingly hopeless situations, individuals could endure and overcome their difficulties. Frankl's approach also emphasizes the concept of tragic optimism, where one maintains an optimistic spirit in the face of tragedy and suffering. This optimism is not naive or unrealistic, but is rooted in the belief that even in suffering, growth and meaning are possible. Frankl encapsulates this in his quote that, "Man does not simply exist, but always decides what his existence will be, what he will become in the next moment." Frankl's legacy and impact. Viktor Frankl's legacy extends far beyond his survival of the Holocaust and the publication of Man's Search for Meaning. His insights into the human condition, the importance of finding meaning in life, and his development of logotherapy have had a lasting impact on psychology, counseling, philosophy, and beyond. Frankl's work challenges us to rethink our approach to suffering and adversity. He offers a hopeful perspective that focuses on the human capacity for resilience and the search for meaning, even in the darkest of times. His ideas have inspired countless individuals to reevaluate their lives and find purpose and significance in their experiences. His influence is evident in humanistic psychology, where his ideas about individual responsibility, the freedom to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, and the pursuit of meaning have become foundational concepts. Frankl's emphasis on the human capacity to find meaning in suffering has also had a profound impact on how we understand and approach mental health and well-being. His approach offers a more optimistic and proactive way of dealing with life's challenges, emphasizing the potential for growth and transformation even in hardship. Moreover, Frankl's work transcends the realm of psychology. His philosophical insights have contributed to discussions on human nature, ethics, and the meaning of life, resonating with a diverse audience worldwide. His teachings continue to inspire and provide guidance to people seeking to understand the complexities of human existence and the pursuit of a meaningful life. He sums up the fluid nature of life's meaning in his quote, "For the meaning of life differs from man to man, from day to day, and from hour to hour. What matters, therefore, is not the meaning of life in general, but rather the specific meaning of a person's life at a given moment." If you enjoyed today's content, please do not forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Until next time, thank you for being a part of our community.